So everybody, of course, knows that the reason you have heart attacks, everybody seems to agree, from the man walking down the street to the head of cardiology at Johns Hopkins, the story goes, we have a heart, it's a muscle, it's got 4 different chambers. It has a blood supply, which is 3 major coronary arteries. All of the blood goes through those 3 major vessels. They go to different parts of the heart. And if one of those major vessels gets blocked with plaque, the blood can't get through the blockage, and the part downstream past the blockage dies because it can't get enough food and oxygen. So you get an ischemia, lack of oxygenation, essentially, death of the tissue because there's no blood flow, because there's a blockage in that artery leading to that part of the heart. Everybody from 6th grade up knows that's why there's heart attacks. Now, I went to medical school and internship. I never once even heard the explanation of how we came to know that that was true. Not only didn't I hear an explanation of how we came to know that was true, I didn't even know that that explanation actually was a theory called the thrombogenic theory, because the blockages are called a thrombus. And so the thrombogenic theory says the reason for heart attacks is you get a thrombus or clot in one of the arteries or more, one or more of the arteries leading to different parts of the heart. The blood can't get through, and then you can't get enough food and oxygen, like I said, and then it dies. When the food and oxygen deficit is small, you just have chest pain, otherwise known as angina, especially if you exert yourself. So you put more of a load on the muscle, and then the oxygen supply isn't enough. And so then that causes pain. And if it's really bad and comes even when you're resting, that's called unstable angina. And then if it gets so bad and there's very little blood flow, and usually you put some extra load on your heart, then the oxygen deficit is so big that you get an ischemic injury or actual cell death or cell necrosis, meaning that myocardial tissue, the heart cells tissue, dies. So that's very clear, and that's called the thrombogenic theory. We all learned that. It's sort of like mother's milk and apple pie and American exceptionalism. We all think that that's true. We don't necessarily know where those came from, but it must be true because everybody believes it. Or the consensus of cardiologists, I hear that a lot, is that that's how it happens.